24 hours to go in Glasgow, gloom is setting in. By now, an updated agreement should be on the table. Instead, some powerful countries are standing in its way. The day starts, hopefully enough.
Ultimately, this is a consensus-driven process, and that's what we're driving towards by the end of tomorrow.
But by the time the summit stops to remember the fallen, the man battling to get a deal here needs that deep breath. Because moments later, the head of the UN hands out his verdict so far, describing the main goal of the summit as being in critical condition.
1.5 degrees is still on reach, but in life support.
Don't let them live before they pay!
They know these talks are threatened by a row over how much money richer nations are prepared to give poorer ones to help them adapt to the climate emergency. It's a horribly uneasy moment for the people here, representing some of the most vulnerable areas in the world.
Well, it's not a good position to be in. I have 2 children, and I think the leaders in the room, especially the bigger countries, the big emitters, they have to step up.
But instead, it emerges some of those countries are taking an opposite view. They don't want the line in the first draft about phasing out coal and subsidies on oil and gas to stand. The EU's climate chief isn't giving out names or giving up.
Is there anyone in particular standing in the way at the moment?
No, I certainly don't want to single out. I know a couple of problems and a couple of problematic customers, but I don't want to single them out here. I think we can still perhaps get them on the right side of the fence.
It's now mid-afternoon, and despite the pressure closing in, no one is panicking yet.
Well, I think people have sometimes described me as no drama Sharma. Time is running out. Negotiations on finance really need to accelerate, and they need to accelerate now.
But by early evening, patience is starting to fray.
Let's get our act together in these final hours and get the deal that humanity and the planet needs.
By nightfall, it's clear the redrafted declaration is still hours away, and they're picking over every word.
Every fraction helps. Every bit of progress we can get out of all of the different parties will get us bringing down the amount of temperature increase that otherwise the world can expect.
No one getting much sleep tonight?
I don't think so.
By now, they should have been tying up the last loose ends. Instead, they're still struggling to close the gap between failure and something which could be described as success. Rachel Younger, News at 10, Glasgow.